Hey, in today's video, we are exploring the main differences between the Canon Powershot V10, probably one of the best compact video cameras for content creators that you can get out today, versus also one of the best cameras, the DJI Pocket 3. If you watch the channel, you'll know this has been one of my favorite cameras over the last 5 years. It's just so compact and so small, and the footage coming out of it is very, very high end and super stable. So in this video, I'm going to be comparing the two. In which case would this be better for you over this, and in which case would this be better for you over the V1? So let's jump into it. So the first thing we should look at is the image quality coming out of these cameras. Now on paper, the V1 has a bigger sensor than the Pocket 3. The Pocket 3 has a 1-inch sensor, this has a 1.4-inch sensor. Now what does that mean? It basically means this can capture more detail, more light, and I think you can see that. I think in some of the shots that I've tested, this gives you more of a cinematic and more filmic look. The Pocket 3, whilst being very, very good, does look slightly more digital looking, I would say. So if you're looking for just the absolute best quality, it's very, very close, but in my opinion, the Powershot V1 is the way to go. Now, next up, if we talk about stabilization, there is no contest here whatsoever. The Powershot V1 does have stabilization, but it's a little shaky in the corners. It's still good for a compact camera like this, especially if you compare it to the Sony ZV-1, but the Pocket 3, with its little gimbal bit on the top there, this is the camera to get. If you are walking and talking and you want cinematic footage, this is the camera to go for. It's so easy to use. I just like that you don't really have to worry about the Pocket 3. With this, you have to kind of ninja walk and walk very carefully. With this camera, you can just walk and talk and concentrate on your content, concentrate on what you're filming, and the video is going to come out very, very stable. You can use a gimbal with this, but the winner has to be the Pocket 3. Okay, so here is a little image test for you. This is the Pocket 3 versus the Canon V1, and I have the image stabilization turned on, just on its normal level. It gives you an idea of what the image stabilization looks like. Now, one thing you can see actually is that the V1 is a lot wider than the Pocket 3, which I think is really, really nice. Also, what looks the most pleasing, the most cinematic to you, this is with the image stabilization turned on. Let's try enhanced. Okay, this is with enhanced image stabilization turned on. Now what you can see on the V1 is it does crop in a little bit more, and if you're using the ND filter, you'll notice that you get these like micro jitters in the corner, but I've upped the shutter speed to 1/1000, which should reduce that a little bit. Does this make it any better for you? What do you think? Obviously it's hard to beat a camera with a gimbal. As you can see, I'm walking down a bumpy dirt path, but this is the difference between enhanced stabilization on the Powershot V1 and the Pocket 3, which just has its built-in gimbal. Usually, I think the Pocket 3 should be better in most scenarios, but let me know. Do you find this acceptable? Is this good enough for you? What image quality do you think looks best? Next up, let's talk about microphones. Now, I would have to say, for an internal microphone, the Powershot V1 beats out the Pocket 3 just by a smidge. This has one of the best internal microphones that I've ever heard on a compact camera. Now the Pocket 3 is also very, very good, easily acceptable if you just had to go in a pinch to use the internal mics. But I would say the prize goes a little bit to the V1. Very, very good audio. Check out these samples. So I'm holding these out at arm's length. Actually quite hard to get them both looking good. But what do we think about the internal audio? Okay, so just holding these out in front of me, a little bit hard because I'm holding two cameras at the same time. Good thing with the Pocket 3, it's very light. But what do we think about the microphone quality between these two cameras? I think we should probably switch between the two and see what we think. I've actually been super impressed with the Canon Powershot V1. I think it's one of the best built-in microphones. Oh, just gonna get myself in focus there. But the Pocket 3 is also very, very good. And the Pocket 3 does have another trick up its sleeve. It's got a built-in microphone receiver, which means you can plug in the wireless mic. So let's do that and test that out. But where the Pocket 3 wins, I think, is that if you get the Creator Combo, you can use the wireless mic, the DJI mic, with this, and the receiver is built into the camera. So that means you don't need to use any cables to plug a mic receiver into this. You can just turn on the little lapel mic and you get some great quality audio, something that you can't do with the V1. Now, of course, you can attach any mic to the hot shoe. You can plug it into the mic in on the side, and you can use any microphone there, which is really, really great. But it is just an extra step. It means you will have to buy a piece of extra kit that you can get quite cheaply with the Pocket 3. So it's very close, but I think if you want to use internals, this is the winner. If you want to use the externals, this is the winner, because just for a small bit of extra investment, you can get that wireless mic, and that sounds really, really good, and it works so well. Okay, so as I mentioned, we are using the internal microphones. This is the built-in microphone on the Canon Powershot V1, and this is the internal microphone on the DJI Pocket 3. But the Pocket 3 does come with, as I mentioned, that internal microphone receiver, which means if you go for the Creator Combo, you can get one of these. So I'm going to turn this on for you. Just hold it on the side. It instantly connects. It's going to take a second, and there we go. We are now connected. So now we can get really, really good audio on the DJI Pocket 3. Now, don't get me wrong. You can plug any microphone at all into the Canon Powershot V1, including, I think, some hot shoe microphones, which means you don't need any cables either, but it doesn't have a microphone receiver built in. So if you're just run and gun, if you are walking around vlogging, this you can just tape it to, magnetically tape it to your chest, clip it to your shirt, and you can get some really good audio without really thinking about it. You don't have to worry about cables and extra attachments. You can just get this mic and record like I'm doing right now. The Powershot V1, I think, has a great internal microphone, but if you want to use an external microphone, which you can, you will need to generally have a microphone which has a 3.5mm, plug it into the side, and it's just a little bit of extra setup. Now, the Powershot V1 does have an automatic mic mode, which I've been using, and it works really, really well, so a lot easier than some other cameras. But this is what it sounds like. Let's go back, let's turn this off. And there we go, we've disconnected. We are now using the DJI Pocket 3's built-in microphone versus the Powershot V1's built-in microphone. What do we think? Okay, next up, let's talk about the zoom range of these cameras. Now, a lot of people don't really think about talking about this, but this is super important, because even if you're holding a camera out, the zoom range affects how close you are to the camera, and it affects how far you can zoom into the distance. And this beats out the Pocket 3 on both counts. This is wider when you're holding it close to yourself, so you can see more of the background as well as you can fit more of yourself in. And also, if there's something you want to zoom into, maybe you're on holiday and you want to zoom into that church tower, this can do it. It's got a 50mm lens, whereas this doesn't. This has like a digital zoom that you can use in one mode, which gives you like a 40mm, close to this, but it's not quite the same as actually zooming in with a real optical lens. So the winner would have to be the V1 again. Next up, let's talk ease of use. This is an easy one. This has to go to the Pocket 3. What I love about DJI is they've come out of the gate and they've just really smashed everything that Sony and Canon have done over the last few years. Sony and Canon tried to bring out a vlogging camera every few years, and it's essentially just a stripped down camera of an existing camera with less buttons, same image sensor, no better IBIS, no better microphone advancements. This came out and wow, this image quality is good. It has background blur, it has a 1-inch sensor like a ZV-1, it has the inbuilt receiver, it has a gimbal. Like, they just smashed it out of the park. Everything that a vlogger up to that point has wished they'd had. They want good audio, they want stable image quality, they want it to be easy to use. This is that camera. So I think if you're a beginner content creator, or if you're a content creator that just wants a second camera that can go with you anywhere, go with you on holiday, this is the one to get. Now, you can use it for professional work as well. And I actually know a few people who do real estate videos here in the UK, and they'll use this because it's got a gimbal and it's easy to just go around a house and film a house and have it looking stable. Really good if you're doing like restaurants and cafes and things like that. This is more professional, I would say, if you need to color grade your footage, if you've got it on a tripod, if you're using it on a gimbal and you really want it to look cinematic. The C-Log in this is better, but it's not easier to use. It's easy to use if you've been in auto and press record, but still, this is going to be more stable. It's going to cause you less issues long term, and yeah, I think the Pocket 3 wins. Next up, as we're talking about the image, let's talk about color grading. If you want to get into color grading, editing the look of your footage, or if you just want to add looks, maybe you want to make your footage look more cinematic, which camera is better? Well, they both film in 10-bit. So in all honesty, they're both very, very good to color grade. I would say this one's slightly easier because of the C-Log 3. It can capture a few more details, but they're both very, very good. And what's great is you can put LUTs onto both. And we have LUTs here at Editor's Keys for the PowerShot V1 and the DJI Pocket 3. So check out these shots here. This is what log picture profiles look like. They're very gray and desaturated. Throw on one of our LUTs and it gives you images like this. So you can really transform the image quality coming out of these cameras to make it look much closer to maybe a Hollywood film you've seen, or if you just want to give it that vintage look, you want to improve the saturation and vibrancy for your studio shots like this, those are the LUTs to get. I'll put a link in the description below. Okay, next up, let's talk about photography. Now, I know you won't be buying these as primarily a camera, but both of them can take photos, but this is where the PowerShot V1 wins. It's a much better photography camera, and what I like about a compact video camera, as I've had this over the last week or so, is that even though it is a lot chunkier than the Pocket 3, it does feel like two needs. You can take this on holiday with you or use it for work and content creation as a video camera. But actually, if you want to get some product shots, you know, like we often do for Editor's Keys, you can use this as a really good photography camera. If you're on holiday, rather than using your iPhone and having all of your shots look the same as everyone else's, because it's all taken with iPhones, this will give you that nice blurry background, give you a wider shot, you can zoom in without losing detail. So it's just a much better camera. This, of course, can take photos as well, but I think because of the small screen, because it doesn't have like a proper zoom, it's just not something that I would use as a camera. I think your iPhone's going to take better pictures than this. So just a little plus there for the V1. So I hope this video has helped you. This is just a quick look today. I know a lot of you are really interested and intrigued. You're thinking about getting into video and you're just not sure what camera to spend your hard-earned money on. And this is kind of the final point for me in the roundup. This is like half the price of the PowerShot V1. So it's a really tough call, this. I think between the ZV1 and this, I would go for this. But when we're talking £1,000 versus £500, oh, whoa, it's just about to turn off there, as you can hear. I think £500, the image quality is almost as good as this. The audio quality is almost as good as this, and it's much more stable. And it's very, very small. This can easily fit in any pocket. So it's really hard. I think if I could only have one, again, because I have this mirrorless camera here, which is like my high-end camera, I would pick the Pocket 3 personally. If I didn't have the mirrorless camera, I think I would go for this because this could fulfill all the needs. It could do the studio work like I'm doing now. I could take it on holiday. It could be a camera. It's going to last a long, long time. But for me, I just like having a professional camera that I look after. It sits in the studio. It does really professional stuff. And then this one that I can take with me on holiday. Doesn't get in the way. If you're vlogging with it, it's so small, people think you're just talking to your phone. So this always has a little place in my heart. This one of the best cameras I've ever had. But also, if you're thinking of getting the V1 for the reasons I've mentioned in this video, you're gonna love it. Honestly, I can't say a bad word about these cameras. So I hope this has helped you. It's probably made it more confusing for you, but let me know in the comment section below. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next video.